Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time you are watching this video. So this is Simple Matters with the topic of geometric figures and solids. Again, what is the topic? The topic is geometric figures and solids. So when we say geometric figures and solids, we are talking about shapes. Our main topic is about shapes. Now let's continue with first mathematical terms. Read mathematical terms. You can read after me. Base, base, circle, circle, cone, cone, corner, corner, cross section, cross section, cube, cube, cuboid, cuboid, cylinder, cylinder, dice, dice, flat, flat, geometric figure, geometric figure, grid, grid, hexagon, hexagon, isometric figure, isometric figure, net, net, oval, oval, parallelogram, parallelogram, polygon, polygon, prism, prism, quadrilateral, quadrilateral, rectangle, rectangle, solid figure, solid figure, sphere, sphere, three dimension, three dimension. Okay, so these are the mathematical terms or terminologies that we will be encountering or we will learn for this topic. So let's start with topic number one, solid figure. Again, solid figures. Solid figures, let's read the first bullet. A geometric figure consists of at least one of these points, lines, arcs, planes, and etc. A triangle, a quadrilateral, and a circle are the examples of geometric figures. So what is a geometric figure? It should have at least point, line, or arcs, planes, and etc. An example we have here is triangle. Triangle means three angles, or that's why it has 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Sorry, that should be 1, 2, 3. So there are three angles. How about quadrilateral? Quadrilateral, quad means four, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So quadrilateral means a four-sided shape. And this is a circle. So these are examples of geometric figures. Next, we also have the following examples: a cylinder, a cuboid, a sphere, a cone, and a pyramid are the examples of solid figures. So solid figure and geometric figure is not the same. Again, geometric figure is not the same with solid figure. So solids are three-dimensional. They are three-dimensional, or what we call your 3D. And we also have your geometric. We call them two-dimensional or 2D. If you are familiar with animes or cartoons, some anime, they are three-dimensional. Actually, most of the animes are three-dimensional. But what we see in comics or manga, those are two-dimensional, right? Because they are just flat surface. Now, what are examples of three-dimensionals? You have your cube. Cube is all of the shapes are squares, right? All of its shapes are squares. Cuboid are composed of at least rectangles. Okay. So sphere, an example of sphere is your ball, basketball balls, volleyball balls, football balls. Okay. Cylinder, again, cylinder. Cone, example of cone is your ice cream. We also have prism. In prism, is actually another example of an example of prism is cuboid and cube, because in prism it is important that you will see a parallel lines. There is a parallel, right? Parallel. We also have a parallel and another parallel. This is different from pyramid, in which a pyramid there will be what we call your vertex point, okay? Or all the sides will meet at a certain point, and that is what we call your vertex. And cylinder is not the same with frustum, because in cylinder there is still a parallel. However, in frustum, if we are going to continue it, it will also look like a cone. So they are not the same. So let's read the third bullet. Most of the objects around us are three-dimensional. Again, most of the objects around us are three-dimensional. What do they have? They have length, width, and height. Height. What are the examples? We have your books, pipes, dives, and walls. So those are the examples of three-dimensional figures. So again, isometric figures are figures that we draw on isometric grid. What is isometric grid? Is an example here that is mainly by dots or points. That if we connect these points, we will make an isometric shape or figures, or that are geometric figures or solid figures. Okay? So this is how we use your isometric. Sometimes the reason why we draw on isometric grid is because we can make the job much easier to do or much simpler to do. Okay. Exercises. Let's go to the first exercise. Draw geometric figures of the following objects. I will give also, let's name the solid figure. First, let's name the solid figure. For fault number one, that is a, okay, that is a cylinder. Spell cylinder. Cylinder. Now we have to draw the geometric figures also. Well, it's easy to draw, right? If you are familiar, you can just draw it like this. Okay, this is already a cylinder. So that's the same way. What is letter B, letter C, until letter H? Please do these exercises. You can use a grid paper or isometric paper that you have. Okay, so we will go back to this later and check if your answers are correct. Part number two, draw a geometric figure. Read with me. Draw geometric solid figures of the following objects on the isometric paper. If you have isometric paper, very good. If you don't have and you only have a grid paper, you can also use that. This is the paper that I am using here at the background is actually an example of grid paper. Okay, so we can use that. So let's say, for example, I'm gonna try to draw a shoebox. So a shoebox is an example of cuboid. Okay, so how we draw a cuboid is we have to make two rectangular shapes, and then we're just going to connect the lines, and that will be our shoebox. So there are many ways that you can draw a shoebox. Just compare it with our geometric or solid figures on the top, and it will be much easier for you to do also if you do it in a grid paper or an isometric paper. For the next lesson is we have nets of solid figures. Everybody, nets of solid figures. What is nets of solid figures? When we say nets means we are going to, it's like, imagine that you open a box or a cube, and then you can divide it into 6 equal squares. Okay, so for example, this cube here, if we open it and make it into only a geometric figure, a square shapes only, not to three-dimensional because this is a three-dimensional, correct? And all of these are example of two-dimensionals. We will make your three-dimensional. Now, after having that and put it in this manner or in this way, this is what we call your nets. Okay. So what is a net? A net is um, solid with flat faces that we put together so that we can make a solid figure. So for example, here we have the triangular pyramid. This is the net when we open it. Cylinder here, cone, and then a prism. Okay, again, let's read. Triangular pyramid, cone, net, prism, prism, a net of cylinder, a net of cylinder. Okay, so it's imagine it like that, that if you open a solid figure and put them into flat two-dimensional shapes, we will have the net of the solid figure. Next exercises, name the solid figures of the following nets. I'll give you the letter C, say letter C. This letter C is called a square pyramid. Okay, spelled square, SQUARE, and then pyramid, PYRAMID. Why is it a square pyramid? Because the shape of the base is square, and if we are going to build it and fold that in the dotted lines or broken lines, we will get a square pyramid, which will be looking like this. Okay, so what about letter A, letter B, and letter D? What will be the outcome or the solid figure that will be there if we are going to fold the broken lines? For exercise number 2, we know it already have told us that this will make a cube. Okay, so the first question is, which edge meets GL? Edge means the side, so we are looking for side GL, line GL. If we are going to fold it, so letter M will meet letter I. Can you follow? So what about letter G and letter L? What edge will meet it? The same way for question number 2, letter B, which other corners meet at A? Which other corners meet at A? So there will not be only one answer for here, but there can be 2 or 3 or 1. Let's do it in a while, okay? Exercise number 3, you can do it as this will be for number 2, this will be your homework that you will be doing. Okay, for exercise number 3, below is the net of a cuboid. Read with me. Below is the net of a cuboid. How many faces are rectangles measuring 5 cm by 2 cm? So just look which one of them have 5 centimeters and 2 centimeter of length and width. So to make it easy, we have to just make sure we have 5 centimeter, 5 centimeter. So there's already 2, right? But we also have to check that they should have 2 centimeter, which is 5 and 2, 5 and 2. But this is also 5 centimeter, right? Because they are just all equal. So 5 cm and also 5 cm. But since the problem is 2 cm here, this is not correct because that is 3. This is 2 cm, so this is also 2 cm, 2 cm, 2 cm, and also 2 centimeter. So how many faces? We have 1 and 2. Next, how about how many faces are rectangle measuring 5 cm by 3 cm? So 3 cm and 3 cm, and this will be your 5 centimeter. In short, how many faces are there? Okay, there are also 2. Now, what are the measurements of the remaining faces? We already have it. Let's just have it here. 2 cm, 2 cm, 2 cm, 5, 5. Oh, this is also 2 cm, 5, and 5. And this is 3 cm. So this is pretty much easy for you to do. Okay. Next, exercise number 4. The cube below is cut along the edges drawn with the dotted lines and flattened out. Draw the flattened shape. So we're not going to limit ourselves. In this exercise, I want you to just make a net of a cube in any form just to make sure that if you fold the dotted lines or the broken lines, it will be a cube. Okay, so for topic number two is sections of solid figures. Again, sections of solid figures. When you say section means is a geometric figure that will be there if the plane cuts any solid. Okay? If a plane cuts any solid, we will get a section. So for example, the paper here will be our plane and this cylinder will be our solid figure. If the plane cuts the solid figure horizontally, okay, like this way, we will get a circular section for cylinder. But if the cylinder is cut vertically, this manner, we will get a rectangular or a rectangle. While if we cut it in a diagonal way or obliquely, we will get an oval shape. Okay? So this is really easy. Just imagine what will be the cut of the three-dimensional, the shape of that. So for exercises number 1, I want you to name what shape will be there after it is cut. I'll give you letter B, and that is the same will be this. The shape in here is oval. Okay, for the next video, we will be answering the other parts of the test. I hope you understand the lesson. Okay, let's answer now the rest of the topics that haven't answered yet. We will be I will be checking your books or your homework by next meeting. I hope you learned something today, and that would be all. Thank you.